Hi, I'm Kelly,
And I'm Madeline.
and welcome to Salt Sessions. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Salt Sessions. I'm Kelly,
And I'm Madeline.
and today we are going to do a little Q&A with each other.
Yeah, just like top questions we get asked a lot.
Yes.
So we thought we'd share.
Exactly. All right,
Nice.
you gonna ask me
I'm going
first,
to ask you first, Kels.
Okay.
So, what surprised you the most when you first started in this business?
Really? Okay, that's a nice one for the first one. Okay. So if I can be truthful,
Yes.
I was actually a little surprised with just how high maintenance the models can be. They oftentimes, not always, but a lot of times, they don't want to put in the work. They want the glamorous jobs.
That's so true, Callie. I have to be honest with you. That's so true because you do have to put in the work, and it's all about updating your book and, being professional and being on time. And there's so much that goes into it that, you're right. And some people think that they can arrive 30 minutes late, and that's okay, but it's not.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And also, a lot of models, when we have informals or, presentations,
Right.
they they don't want to do those. They only want to do the glamorous, the big beauty campaigns, but you have
Right.
to
It's a
start
reality.
somewhere.
You have to start somewhere, and it's about doing a little bit of everything,
Yes.
whether it's a commercial print job or a lifestyle job or even a fashion job, which does come along every once in a while in Atlanta. We have to kind of do it all.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right. Okay. What is something that clients notice that models often overlook?
Oh, I just touched on this a second ago. So it's definitely being professional on set. It's arriving on time. We really want you 15 minutes early to the
Yes.
job. And it's about being professional on set and maybe asking what the client is looking for with you that day.
Mhm.
Are they looking for you to do certain poses, or is it a certain commercial shoot that they want you to do something special? Or is it more of an e-com shoot where they want you to do the Rockaway? What is it
Yes.
exactly? And then it's always at the very end of the shoot being thankful, hanging up your clothes, putting them back on the rack. Just the little things mean so much. And clients have called me throughout the years and said, well, that model won't be back. And I was like, why? And she said, well, it's not from your agency, but from another agency. The models didn't hang up their clothes, and
know.
that really bothered them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yes.
So I'm going to brag a little bit. So my husband was just inducted into the Hall of Fame this past week, in which you know about.
Yes.
And they asked him.
Tell them what kind of Hall of Fame.
Well, it's a football Hall of Fame. So
Yes.
yes, he was inducted with Kirby Smart and Keith Brooking and a bunch of high big roller football players. So it was
Yep.
really cool. But one of the questions that he was asked was, what did your coach instill in you? And that is exactly what he said. He said, do the little things well.
The little things. Wow.
You
I
have
would agree to
to
that.
do the little things well. And also just be kind. Don't be on your phone,
Right. Don't be
it's
on your phone. That's
because
a
when
huge no-no.
it's, time is money. And if you're on your phone and it's your turn and
And right,
you're
and
on your
you're
phone,
on your phone looking at it like
yep.
this, then that's not a good
And
idea.
don't be getting in a fight with your boyfriend. We've had that.
We've had that happen too.
Sorry.
Don't get in a fight with your boyfriend, and don't bring your boyfriend to set.
No, we've
So,
also had
if
that
you're a
happen.
minor, then it's understood that you're going to have a parent with you.
Yes.
We understand that. But if you're over 18, don't bring your boyfriend, don't bring your best friend, don't bring anybody.
Yes.
Really, it's you on your own, because they really notice it if you bring somebody else with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, Kelly. How has the industry changed over the years? Social media, AI, etc.
Ooh, AI. Don't even get me started on AI.
Okay, I won't get you started on AI. Talk to me about social media.
I hate AI. I mean, it's good for some things like writing a paper. But in the modeling industry, yeah, we've seen
It's taken away some jobs.
it has definitely taken away some jobs where too, when models have been booked prior for a client and they reuse that model for their new looks. And so we are very careful with our contracts and with
What
the
we're
jobs
doing
that
as
we
far as
take,
AI goes,
because
because it is
we
not our friend right now.
no, absolutely not, and we are not a
No,
proponent of that.
no, we're not.
But yeah, in regards to the industry, I think that it's definitely a lot more inclusive.
It's definitely more
Yes,
inclusive.
it's a lot more inclusive, just with body type, with shape, sizes, with gender, with non-binary.
Absolutely.
We have seen a huge influx of that, and we've had some of our models have been very successful that
Right.
identify as non-binary,
Mhm.
which 10, 20 years ago, it was non-existent.
What do you think about social media in our industry?
It's interesting. I think it is important. A lot of clients do ask for your social media followings, for your handles on
Mhm.
Instagram, TikTok. They want to see your engagement. And by the way, do not buy followers ever. We've talked about this
Yeah,
on previous
yeah.
podcasts.
Don't do it.
They can tell, and it's a bad look. I mean,
Mhm.
if it shows that you're getting 18,000 likes and you have 2 comments, it's obviously not legit.
Yeah, and for me, I will add in that when I started Salt with
Yes.
one model,
Yes.
my boys were 8 and 10 at the time, and they're like, "Mom, do you have an Instagram?" And I'm like,
What's
what's
that?
Instagram?" I'm like, "What is that?" And they were like, "You need to have one, Mom." And I was like, "Okay." So I started the Salt Instagram, and
Yes.
we do have a really good following,
We
and I'm
do.
very happy
We
about
do.
that.
It's funny. My
Yes.
husband calls it Instaface. Combination of
Instaface,
Instagram and
Instaface.
Facebook. Yeah, he doesn't have his own, and so he just logs into mine all the time. And
And checks it out.
he's like, we have the same friends, so I'm like,
I
Kurt,
love
can you
that.
please like just don't comment,
I
don't
love
comment.
that. No comment, Kirk.
Yes. All right. What do you wish more people understood about what agencies actually do?
Oh, what do I want models to know about what agents actually do? That's a really good question.
Okay, can I just start?
Yeah, go ahead.
They do everything
They do everything.
from book updates, booking jobs. I mean, they're basically managers
They're
for the models
managers. You're
that
right.
you can
They're kind of doing
elaborate.
a little bit of everything. So an agency is the one that is, well, at least for us, like the mother agency is first step.
Mhm.
And it's really important that you choose a really good mother agency because they're kind of like the architect of your career.
I love that you always
So
say that. I
I
love
am the
that. The
architect of the
architect, I
career.
love it.
Yes,
Yep.
I'm steering the ship. And so it's really important that you choose somebody that you trust, like we call it the SALT family,
Mhm.
because they're the ones who are like deciding, okay, in 6 months, we're going to go to LA, we're going to go to Miami, we're going to go to New York. In a year, we're going to go to Europe. Like where they're making those big decisions for you. And they're also like helping you to start your portfolio. So, like, it's really important that they have the best photographers that they're working with and that they know exactly how they want to develop your book so that it has, like, different looks in it from different
Mhm.
photographers. And yeah, that's just really
And
important.
also, that you have connections.
Yeah, that you have
It's
connections.
important to have connections and relationships with multiple agencies throughout the country, throughout the world. When we do placements in
Yeah,
Europe,
yeah. It's fun because I've
as well as
been doing
casting
it for a
directors.
long time. So, yes, and I'll be honest with you, Kelly has more relationships with the casting directors
Oh,
because her
no, no,
daughter's an actress,
no.
and I'm more of the print side. And, I've developed relationships and curated them for 31 years. So,
Curated. Look at that word. Ding,
yes, look at that word.
ding.
And it's just been a really fun ride. It
Yeah.
really has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Kelly.
Okay.
So, Kelly, how do you set your value as a model, like monetarily? Like,
So,
is the agent in charge of that? Or, like, can you tell your agent what you think you should be
I
making?
mean,
Like,
well, if the model did, the model would set their rate really, really high because
they
every
would.
model thinks that they should be getting, the
A
highest.
lot.
They should be
A
getting
lot.
a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yes, no, the your agency director, your booker will be setting that, and
And it's based kind of on your experience, I think.
it's absolutely it's based on your experience. It's also based on the market as well. We're in Atlanta, so rates in Atlanta may be different from
From
New
rates in New
York
York. Yeah.
or LA. But they're also gonna maybe be different from Charlotte, North Carolina as well.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
yes, so it's a lot of it is based on your experience, and the more jobs you have, and the more high profile jobs and high
More
profile.
campaigns,
Yes,
editorials,
yes,
magazines that you've
yes.
done
I mean,
that
we
sets your
have.
rates higher.
Yeah, and so if you're a new face, you may do an e-com job for
A
a
100 an
hundred
hour.
an hour to get
Hmm.
started.
Hmm.
Whereas if you're
An
a
experienced model is going to be making more.
thousands a
Right.
day,
Right.
so we have some models who won't step out of bed for less than $5,000 a day. So
Right.
yeah, so
You're right.
so
That's
yes,
good, Kels.
this one actually goes along with that one. What
Okay.
factors influence a model's rate? Usage,
It,
client.
right. It's who they've worked for before. It's like I said, if they've done a bunch of editorials and campaigns, that boosts their
Mhm.
rate. And I
Well,
think,
also a client's budget. I mean,
yeah,
sometimes, we have clients reach out to us and they're like, hey,
here's the budge.
I've got $50,000
Right.
for this entire shoot, and
We need everything.
I need so and so model. I need 30 models, and I also want this usage, and I also want it to be in
In perpetuity.
perpetuity.
Right, which we
So
try to steer clear of,
yes,
but we do
unless
get
the
in
rate.
perpetuity sometimes, and that's a hard one because it's, like, a lot more as I've, grown in the business, I've seen that that's being asked for, and, like, when I started in 1994, they were never asking for that. They were like, "It's 1 year, 2 year, 5 year
Yes,
usage," whatever it was, and now it's like, "Oh, we want it forever and ever," and
right.
I'm like, "Wow, then that's a huge buyout
Yeah,
ask."
and the rate is always significantly higher.
Yeah,
But
if
the
it
other thing that models need to understand too is that oftentimes clients will ask for in perpetuity, and it's not because they are going to be using the images forever and ever on their website or on for their campaigns. It's just
Right,
they
because
also
the
don't know.
trends change, the fashion
Yes.
changes, so, like, they may say in perpetuity, but, like, in 5 years, they're probably not gonna be using your
Well,
image
really,
because
in
yeah,
1 year, but because
yeah,
oftentimes what happens is that they don't have control over, like, the social media, like, what is shared. So they'll say in perpetuity to be safe,
right,
just to protect themselves in case people share on social or on different websites and things
right,
like that.
right.
So that's one thing that is it's kind of a double-edged sword, like, don't be super scared about in perpetuity because oftentimes it really is a
It's only gonna
1
be
year or
yeah,
maybe 2-year usage. They're
yeah,
just
I would
doing
agree.
it to keep themselves safe.
Yes, okay. So is it your turn to ask me
It's
or my
your
turn to
turn to
ask you?
ask me. Let's
Okay,
go.
how do rates differ between fashion, lifestyle, and commercial work?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think it's a good
So,
one.
yes. So, for like informals, for example, so we have the Mart here in Atlanta.
Yeah,
And clients will reach out, designers will reach out, and they'll want models to showcase their
their brand.
collection, their
Mhm.
brand, exactly. And oftentimes those rates are significantly less per hour because there's no usage involved.
No
It's
use.
just they're
It's not
showcasing.
print, it's
Yep.
just like it's just live fashion presentation.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Mhm.
those rates are going to be lower. It's interesting to me, this is one interesting thing that I found with when I first got started in the industry is how models want to do runway. Every model is like runway, runway is like the end all
Yeah.
be all. The reality is that runway doesn't pay.
No, it
It
doesn't pay
pays
much.
horribly.
No, but
So
it's just the excitement, the exposure, and it
depending on
can and it can launch a model's career in
it
some
can.
cases.
It
Yeah,
absolutely can depending on
where it is.
the fashion house.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, it's funny because so often models want to do runway and
They
it
do.
can be great, but the rates with runway,
Are much less.
they're definitely much less.
Mhm.
Whereas print,
Commercial print, right.
commercial print
Commercial
is
print pays the
where
most.
bank is.
Happens,
That's where our
absolutely.
models make bank.
It is
Exactly.
because there's gonna be usage involved, and, like, the
Absolutely.
rate may be 2,000 for the day, and the usage may be 3,000
Yes.
depending on how many years they want
Yes.
it or if it's in perpetuity, so,
Yes,
like, that's
exactly.
a good thing. Commercial
Exactly.
print is good.
Yes, that's our sweet spot.
It's our sweet spot. It
That's what
is.
keeps salt in business.
It does, for sure. Because Atlanta is a commercial print lifestyle market. I
Yes.
mean, we do a lot of e-com too, but, it's really focused on that commercial print and lifestyle for sure.
Yeah, and then one other thing as well is that, we do oftentimes, receive jobs, from casting directors here in Atlanta, and it may be a SAG job, so where it's SAG rate, but the benefit of SAG is that oftentimes there will be additional, usage if, the terms are extended.
Yeah,
So, you can get residuals and that type of thing, but
which
that's
is good.
based on the SAG daily rate. How does money actually work in modeling? Like, who receives the money? Does it the client, the model, the agency? Like, how does that work?
Okay.
That
So,
actually should have been my question since I'm the
since
one.
you're the
I'm
COO
the
of this
money
company, I'm gonna
lady.
let you answer that
Oh,
yourself, Kelly. Go
all right.
ahead.
You get to answer the next
And
two.
then I'll answer this
Yeah.
one.
So, so the way that works is that models don't get paid until we get paid. We don't get paid until the client pays us. So, you know, um, typically it can be anywhere from
30 to 90 days.
well, yes, but I mean, it sometimes it's due on receipt, right?
Yeah.
We have some clients that are awesome. The shoot finishes and they literally process it that day. We love those types of
Yeah.
clients. Um,
But the
I
reality is that that's not the way most of it
no, it
goes.
is absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
We One trend that we've seen over the last few years, or at least that I've seen, is that it used to be like net 30. Everyone
Right.
was net 30, and then it's coming to net 60.
Yeah.
And now oftentimes it's like net 90. We have
And we
we are
don't ask for it to be that way. We
no,
certainly want to
no.
pay you immediately.
Yes.
But yeah, it does take
And
longer for
models get
some.
frustrated with us because, they're like, they're withholding our money um
Yes.
and that's absolutely not the case with us. Now, I'm not saying other agencies do that, but
Right.
I will literally process the payment to our models the
Right.
second it clears. Madeline knows.
I know. Kelly wants it out of our bank account.
The
She's like, we
second
got paid. I want it
Yep,
out.
the second it clears our account, I
Mhm.
am processing it to our models. But sometimes, yeah, it does take 90 days. And, unfortunately, we've had this happen one time since I've been at Salt where we had a client file bankruptcy
Right.
and, we ended
And the
up
models didn't get
working,
paid. Right.
yes. And
And
well,
that's
that's still
unfortunate.
ongoing, but they are
Right.
going to get paid something, but it's not going to be what
Right. And
the rate
that's
was.
only happened one
It's
time in
happened
31 years. And
one
I've seen,
time,
yeah.
one time.
Yeah.
So it is very rare, but yeah.
I agree.
Give me I'm gonna ask you
Ask
since
me all
I
of them.
took Phew. um, okay, have standards of beauty shifted for the better?
I think so because when I started, you really had to be 5'9" and like typical model shape and tall and a certain size. And now we're so much more inclusive and diverse, and height is not really such a huge matter anymore because there are different divisions within an agency. So, like if you're going to be a high fashion model, then you're probably going to be 5'10", 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", a 0 to a size 2. If you're more of a commercial model, you might be 5'5" and a size 6 or 8,
Yeah.
and that's fine because we are inclusive and diverse now in the industry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's so great because, like you said, it used to be there was a very small window, of models and,
What they were
successful
looking
models.
for.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly, and now we have such a wide range. I mean, we
Wide.
have
The net has gone big.
exactly,
Yeah, so that's
exactly,
good,
which is
and
very great.
that's a very
Yeah. All right. What is a fair commission percentage and
okay.
payment time? We already talked about
Okay,
that.
we did, but like commission, that's a really good
Yep.
question, Kelly. So, all agencies globally kind of have the same process. So, when you sign your contract, you're going to look at what is taken from you. And so, all agencies worldwide take 20% from the model. That's the model commission.
So
Uh,
if it's $1,000 rate,
Then you have to calculate 800 for
yes.
yourself.
So you would
Yes.
net 800
Right.
exactly.
Exactly. So, 20%. So, that's what you need to pay attention to.
All right. Now, when should a model say yes to a test shoot or an unpaid job? Your
Oh,
favorite.
I
Your
I think that
favorite.
that's really a good question, Kelly, because I'm real particular about it, and that's why your agency really does matter a lot, but with the agent's experience and knowledge and everything, because sometimes there'll be photographers that are a little dicey, and it doesn't happen often, but sometimes there are, and so that agent needs to know, like, if you've been asked to do a test shoot by somebody that's a little dicey, you know that,
Yeah.
and you don't want them to shoot with that particular photographer. But other times, like, a photographer will, like, ask the model if they wanna test or do a collaboration, and they're a great photographer, and
Right.
so it's like, "Yeah, we would love to have that imagery in your book and on social media," but you have to be careful because there are some people that aren't as good as
Yeah,
others,
there are
so
definitely some unsavory people, and
yeah.
we have a list.
Yeah.
We have a list of certain photographers that we will not allow our models to
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 work
shoot
with
with.
because 'cause we've seen some not good behavior,
Yes, exactly,
so we're
exactly.
real particular, but
Yeah,
yeah, we've
yeah.
got great photographers that we work with. Let's see, I think I've asked you everything.
All right. Well, I have one more for
Okay.
you. How hard is it to be a model now?
Great question, Kelly. It has changed so much.
Well, tell our viewers about our conversation yesterday with the LA market.
Yeah, models are constantly wanting to get placed, which
Yeah.
is great because the more markets you have, the more money you can make. So, like, you're placed in New York, you're placed in LA, you're placed in Miami, you're placed in London, you're placed in multiple places. So,
Yes.
models do want placement at all times.
Yes.
But everything has changed within the past year. And so, like, some markets like New York are kind of closed unless you're a certain size and height. And
Right.
then you have LA, which is changing again because LA used to be the more commercial e-commy market. And now a lot of models from worldwide, including New York, are wanting to go to LA. And so they're being more exclusive about who they're taking and not so much the commercial models anymore because they have the pick of the crop.
Yes.
They have everybody
Yes.
wanting to be placed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
No, it's so true. It's interesting just, how the markets are constantly
they
evolving as well
constantly
as
are.
the industry.
Yeah.
Um So,
Right.
yeah.
We had a model that just recently did Christian Dior in Miami.
Yes.
And 5 years ago, I would have said, Christian Dior in Miami?
Yeah,
What
exactly.
are you talking about? But like
Exactly.
each market is changing because I always thought of Miami as being typically a body
I
swimwear
know,
market.
like a
But
sexy.
no, it's not. It has all types of clients and yeah, it's got some commercial stuff too. And it's
Yeah.
not just all swimsuits.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So, Kelly, I want to thank our audience so much for tuning into Salt Sessions, and we really appreciate it. And I hope that like our answering questions for you was helpful. And we just really appreciate you tuning in.
Yes. See you next time.
See you next time.